Latoya Smith, and I'm an assistant editor here at Grand Central Publishing, a division of Hachette Book Group. What I do here, it's a number of different things. Though I am in the editorial department, I pretty much have my hands in everything. I deal with the art department, I deal with the sales department, marketing and publicity, managing editorial. Basically, we deal with every single department here. We take our books from submission and all the way through to the finished book. What I'm going to talk specifically about today is the actual editorial process. Most authors have no idea once they submit their books what to expect from their editor once they are published. Once they sign that contract, it's just like, okay, what now? So here's just a little, look at what to expect. Me, your editor, if I were to be working with you, I would basically read your story, and I wouldn't really be looking for copy editor marks or grammar or things like that. What I'm looking for is the meat of your story. Does your plot make sense? How are your characters developed? How's your world building, especially in terms of paranormal? I actually edit everything from romance to erotica to general fiction and nonfiction. And when I say the process is the same, I really mean the process is the same. What my job is to make your book as marketable and as strong as it can be so that when it gets into that reader's hands, they cannot put it down. My editorial letters tend to be anywhere from 3 pages to 15 pages. But don't get discouraged. Even if you have a 15-page editorial letter, it doesn't mean that, oh my gosh, there's so much wrong with my novel. It just means like, you know what, I have one more step to go before perfection. And, one important thing that I want to say is that the relationship between the author and their editor, it should be the strongest as possible, because ultimately this is your baby, and you want to be able to put your trust in your editor to know that they're going to do the best thing possible for your project. So an editorial letter, like I said, could be anywhere from 3 to 15 pages, sometimes longer. Usually it goes through one revision and then it's ready for transmittal. Doesn't always happen. I've had situations where I've gone through 2 or 3 revision letters with my author just to make sure everything was perfect. And then once it's acceptable, you get your delivery and acceptance payment, and then it goes into production. And what our production team does is they then hire copy editors and proofreaders to make sure that the grammar is taken care of, the book is laid out, and put into stylized format for whatever size your book will be. And then I work with the art department to get your package together. I work with marketing publicity to get your promotional plans together. And of course I work with you to make sure that you're doing all that you can as an author to brand yourself and get your name out there and, blog and tweet and go on Facebook and do all the things that we now have to do as editors and authors to get our names out there and spread the word. And I know a lot of authors worry about this whole digital wave, but what I like to tell my authors and even my colleagues is that, people still want to read. It's just the mode in which they read that has changed, not the desire or the passion to read a book. So basically, that's what to expect from your editor. You'll get notes. Hopefully, it'll be a great experience. Hopefully, you'll be able to be involved in every step of the process, from what your cover looks like to, having creative control over your book, to, working closely with your editor and your publicist and your whole publishing team, and really just feel like a family, because at the end of the day, we're all about branding you and making your book as successful as possible. And so even if you don't agree with certain notes, or you don't agree with the package, or you don't agree with the promotional plan, just know at the end of the day, we don't want you to suffer, because if you suffer, we suffer. If your book doesn't do well, we don't do well. So it really is a partnership and a family relationship. As far as my day-to-day, it could be anything from taking phone calls from my authors, emailing, text messaging sometimes. Yes, my authors have my cell phone number. Texting. It could be meetings. It could be editing. It could be reading anything from articles to other books in the marketplace. sometimes I leave at 5 o'clock, sometimes I leave at 8 o'clock. I mean, it just depends on what I have on my plate for that day. But one thing I tell everyone is that this isn't a job. This is a career. This is a passion. And if you don't have a passion for it, you can get burned out easily. I won't lie to you about that. It's demanding. There's pressure. There are always deadlines. There are always people depending on you. But when you see that finished book, it makes everything worth it. So I hope that I've shed some light on the editorial process and what to expect from your editor once you're published. And take care. Bye.